Hi, Guido Fox here. Welcome by a new book report. Today I want to talk with you about part 4 of the Jung series, and it's about personality and transmissions. Part 4, Jung, and I want to talk with you and discuss with you the most interesting topics of this wonderful book. I think nearly 300 pages, but very interesting information about psyche, about mental status, and mental support. First of all, Jung was 20 years active in this world of psychology when he wrote this book. So I take this book very serious, right? You cannot say, okay, I don't like his face, or I don't like that he is smoking a big cigar. But you can also say, okay, this guy is 28 years in this field, so I take him a little bit more serious than someone who don't have any experience in talking with people, knowing about the psychological state of different persons. So I take this guy serious, and that is what I also give you as advice to people who have some knowledge about a few few areas, or wrote a book about it. So you can always say, okay, he knows something about this field, so I take him serious. So that's also what I'm doing. So I read first the books, and then I give my opinion with my experience and my talks with my clients and all the intensity where I am living from, and all the books I've wrote and all the book reports I make and all the articles I've wrote. I can also give my opinion about his work. But you cannot say, if you didn't wrote anything, if you didn't study anything, if you didn't wrote your own books or your own PhD or your own education, that you say something about um, another work of another person. I think there is a difference in that some people can say more than other people based on his or her background information and background knowledge and background studies with what the person did in their life. So if you want to say something about another person, then I take you seriously only if I see, okay, you have 3 double degrees, you have your PhD, you were several times on television, you've wrote your books, you've wrote your articles, you have a record. Then I take you seriously, and then I give you some counter vision or another opinion, or we have them both an opinion what is agreeable. So this is what I want to say about building up your knowledge field, and that is linked with your career, what you're doing in your life. If you want to be the best supermarket manager, read anything about supermarkets, about managing qualities, about products, write something about supermarket issues. Um, then you become better in your field, and then you can say something about that world area. So building up knowledge, building up degrees is making you better and better as a person, and then you can say something in your field. And that is also what Jung were saying on page 10, from okay guys, I'm 20 years long in this field of knowledge, so I know something about the psyche of people. I know something, so I've write it down here in this book. So take people a little bit more serious, because I see so many people are throwing stuff on social media and they don't know anything about some kind of subject. Schopenhauer, I told you earlier in the other series of Jung that Jung is constantly referring to Nietzsche, Schopenhauer, Descartes, some other philosophers, and that makes also Jung very interesting, because he have not only a lot of experience in this mental field, but he is also linked with other philosophers, and then you create double exponential knowledge, because you are learning from different philosophers and you have your own experience, and then the knowledge magic will happen. And that's also what I see from people who are reading a lot of books. It is not only that it's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. You read one book, one book, one book. No, it's a combination of 1 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 2 is 6, because you're reading a lot of books, and then the links between the books will working out for you, and you will have a very fundamental knowledge basement that makes value for yourself, and value for yourself you can transpose that value to other people, what you want to support. I mean, if you're going back to my supermarket manager example, if you're building up a lot of knowledge, of course your supermarket store will be better and better, and your communication with your employees will be better and better, and you'll become the best supermarket in the Netherlands. So knowledge is power, and that is very good for your career. So his link with Schopenhauer is very interesting. Schopenhauer was saying, we are still as human beings in the blind and goalless primordial chaos. That's very interesting. You are still, the most people, 90% of the people are still in the blind and goalless primordial chaos. So that means that most people are blind, they're unconsciousness, they're not looking around, they're not aware of social dynamics, they have very little sensitive capacities to feel other persons, to feel what's going on by other persons. They're blind for the reality, they're fixed in their tunnel vision of work and family, and they don't look around what is happening in society, what is happening in your surroundings. So the most people are blind and goalless. Maybe it is confronting for yourself, but that's good, because I want to kill your ego. I want to kill your ego. I want to make you a very, very better person in your life. So the most people are blind and goalless. What is Schopenhauer saying about goalless? That the most people have no goal in their life. They're doing something because they want to do something, or they need money. I mean, you have so much free time. I heard also some people are saying, I have so much free time. Okay, I do some job because I have so much free time and I need some money. So the most people are blind and are goalless, and they go goalless through life. They have no striving goals in their career, in their relationship, in their personal development, in their leadership skills, in their social dynamics. They are goalless, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to want, and they are acting from the primordial chaos. So the primordial chaos is the state where people were living in the jungle in the year 0. Right? So in the year 0, We lived in the jungle. We need food. Food. Okay, we go hunting and we grab the food. Okay, we are good for today or for 2 days or 3 days. The food, the meat of the animal is good for 3 days. And after that 3 days, we are going hunting again. So we are going here for money. I need money for that day, and it doesn't care what kind of job I have. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of job I have. I'm goalless. It's okay if I have my food for this day or for these 3 days. Then it is okay. So people who are living in a career goalless life, or they don't want to strive forward in a relationship, or they don't want to have that 10th girlfriend, they are happy with their 6th girlfriend. They have goals, they have no goals. You're still in your primordial Goalless on evolutionary state. And lower evolutionary state. Be aware of that. You're in a lower evolutionary state if you're doing your job because that gives you money, but there is no deeper sense. No deeper sense beneath that. And it's okay if you want to live like that. It's okay. But don't come by me, by Guido Fox, and say that you're an unhappy, unfulfilled, and a no-goal striving life. So Schopenhauer was right. The most people are blind, goalless, and reacting from the primordial Goalless fight and flight attitude. Page 16 for the people who are interested in this book. How we come to a more fulfilling life. How we come there. And Jung is first saying you have to be aware that you were growing up and maybe you work in very big immoral and blindness institutions. You were in schools, universities, in big organizations, and they are quite immoral and blind because if you put a lot of no-goal striving people, the most people are saying, I love this job. Amazing. Amazing what I'm doing. And they saying it to their colleagues, but I know for sure they're lying. They're lying bastards. So the most people are fakey. They're fakey. So how bigger the organizations are who are more immoral and how more blind. Why is that? How more people in an organization where you are, how more bigger the schools, how more bigger the organizations, how more shared responsibility. This is interesting. How bigger the organization where you're in, how more shared responsibility. So how more moral hazard. How more you can say, no, it's not my fault. It's the fault of the other one, of the other people. Can you remember that you had a school project and you're working your ass off and you did it with 4 people and there were always one person who was playing the free rider guy or girl. He did nothing and he get the same grade as you. That is a free rider's problem beneath morality. So how bigger the organization, how bigger the school, how more shared responsibility, and you never learn to take responsibility over your own life. And that is the first step to grow. Look in the mirror and see how ugly, disappointed, unenlightened your life is. Because you never learned to take your own responsibility. You never grab your own individually. That is important to understand. If you want to grow, you have to step out and start immediately something for yourself in this world, what is going to more higher consciousness levels, and people are searching for freedom. So go for freedom in this life, grab your freedom, and then you are learning to take responsibility over your life. First, you have to step out. Later, you can go back to your groups, you can go back to your universities, you can go back to your bigger organization. That's okay. But first, you have to make your own core strength. First, working on your own core through deep reflection over yourself. And if you have deep reflection with a coach, with a mirror, you remove the collective unconsciousness. And that's a very hot item in the work of Jung, the collective unconsciousness. So in every psyche is a dark and dark atmosphere of collective unconsciousness in your system, in your DNA, and also giving to your parents and your grandmother and your grandfather gave that collective unconsciousness. We all lived in collectivities from the past. They are incorporated in our DNA, and that distractions you take with in your mental status. So if you want to become healthier in your mind and your psyche, we have to remove that dark collective unconsciousness. The most people are living in a so-called compromise. What is that? The most people are reacting to the world around. Let's say you are a woman, and let's say that your father and mother wants to have a boyfriend for you, and that boyfriend would be nice if that boyfriend have a good job, had his PhD, working in a brave and polite working atmosphere, is an accountant or a lawyer or somewhere higher in organizations. Maybe you choose as women for that guy because not from love, maybe a little bit love, not because of his amazing body, but you choose him because still there is some sound in your background from, okay, it's fitting in my family. This guy with his suit always, nice pensions, nice salary. So I go for him. The same is in career-wise options. okay, I go for this company because my parents want that I go in this company because that's fitting in the family, because that is a very good lawyer's firm with a high social society status. Happiness never and never can reach on high and high levels in a compromise state. This is very important. A compromise state never and never leads to extreme happiness. Now, the most people are living in a compromise state. In relationships, in dating, in career, they hanging on society, on family pressures. So first of all, Jung was saying no, 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 no. Choose for yourself. Do what is feels good for you. If you're fully in love with a person, with a guy, and he works by the McDonald's, and he loves to bake it, he loves to have contact with the customers, he loves to bake that burger right in the McDonald's, he loves to be there, the manager in the McDonald's, and he loves his colleagues, and it's really his passion, food and the big revenues in the McDonald's. Why not go for him, right? So never search for a compromise state. Always listen to your inner feelings, to your intuition. And then we move to your own self and to your own core. And we move out of the primordial Goalless state, the ego state. The ego state because you want to have a boyfriend in a very good social hierarchy firm because of ego. To say to your parents, wow, I found a nice guy. And you get your tick from your father or your mother. And you are so happy of that. So your ego is temporarily fulfilled. Your ego is temporarily fulfilled of that. But it is for a short time. It's not for long-lasting love. And also not for long-lasting love to your parents. If you go more to yourself and you make the right decisions based on your inner heart feelings, not because of the outside world, not because of the priest is telling that to you or someone else, then you're ultimate also better for society. If you find your own core, if you find your own self and you make decisions what is fitting by yourself, you're totally yourself without the dark unconsciousness, without the dark collective unconsciousness, you create value what society wants and needs. And you can be really yourself. And you can offer the society more and more than when you stayed in your job because you need money. So transformation is needed. Transformation is needed in your life. Transformation is needed in your life to remove the collective unconsciousness, to remove the ego distractions in your soul. Very important to go for yourself, what you want, not what your parents want from you, not what your family wants from you, not what the school, the university, your friends expect from you. So first choose for yourself. Thank you for watching, and I see you by the next movie. Hi.